Hello everybody and welcome back to Emily's Upcycled Home. To shop my items, please click on the links in the comments. Follow me on my business page and that link will be in the description. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's go ahead and jump into project number 1, and it's a book stack. Now I have these 2 books here and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet with them, so I'm going to come in here and go ahead and put a white base coat on these because the books are really dark. I don't want those colors to seep through the paint color that I choose. And if I decide to choose white, I'll just go over again with more coats of that white paint. And here I go. The video is now in a better view here so that you can see what I'm doing here, and I'm going to go ahead and do that also with the second book. Now here we are with the top coat dry, and I'm going to come in with this blue color paint here. Now this is an Oops paint from Home Depot, so I can't really tell you what the color name is, but I only paid 50 cents for this little jar, so don't pass up those Oop Paints aisles or sections in your Home Depot. You might find some good products there or colors that you like. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a first coat of this blue color paint here, and it's like a soft blue. So now I'm thinking, because of the color, I'm going to go with a shabby chic kind of vibe here and pull in some pinks and blues on this book page, this book stack here. And I'm not sure if I am going to bind them together or leave them separate or just put a lace bow around them. So I'm going to come back in with that same little remnants of the transfers from the redesigned Garden Marvels pack. And I'm going to go with kind of like a bird theme again and maybe do some bird houses all over here, or I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and work within this transfer here. And because my books are not leveled, they're not the same size, one's smaller than the other, I'm going to just hold my books in place so that I'm able to add the other side of the transfer. And I kind of added one side first and then kind of came in with the second book and held that in place to adhere the second half of that piece. Now I'm going to come in with some pink flowers here, and I'm going to have them come from the top, kind of scaling down towards the birdhouse. And then I will come in with some greenery and a little greenery stem, and then add that to the base of the books, trailing that from the base of the books up in towards the birdhouse. So here I'm going to come in with these flowers. I like the round piece. I don't like the wording in the center. And then so I'm going to go ahead and cut out that wording piece. And I'm really thinking if I want it round or I'm going to cut it. And I decide to go ahead and cut it. And I'm going to place these pieces however I feel they fit best. And I'm kind of wondering, Emily, what are we going to do here? But, eventually I figure it out. So I'm just going to go for it here. And I'm going to attach that stencil. And then I will go ahead and repeat the process and attach the top part. So right now it looks like a hot mess, and I'm going to sit here and think for a minute, and I decide to come in with that same blue paint that I color the books in. And I'm going to go ahead and cover all the pieces that I don't want on the transfer. I want the florals, I want the leaves, and I don't want any of the other parts, the green round circle, you know, that white little edge that was part of the original circle piece. And I'm going to just go ahead and repeat that process for both the top and the bottom. And then I'll come in with the second layer of blue because you want to make sure those parts are covered. And then we'll come in with some waxes and we'll go ahead and layer up those pieces as well. So here to blend in the stencil or the transfer a little bit more, I decide to go lightly, very lightly with the dry brush technique and that same blue color and kind of fade it into the florals and the leaves and the transfer parts. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm doing kind of like a second coat of the blue paint on the books. And I'm going to go over and make sure once again that I hit those spots where I covered up the white and the green on the transfer so those don't seep through the color of paint. So now we're going to come back in with some more transfers and I'm trying to figure out what to put into that center of the book. And I'm just trying different pieces here. And eventually I decide to go with this birdcage piece here because once I sat it on the books, it was like it was meant to be there. That's how I felt anyway. What did you guys think? And I'm going to go ahead and you see me touching that paint, you guys. It's not dry all the way, but I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to go ahead and put this little bird cage transfer onto this spot. So now I'm going to come in with these little birds. And these are still from that Garden Marvels transfers. And I'm going to make it look like he's just out of his cage and sitting on top of the cage. Now I'm going to come in here with this little gap where that was right here. And I'm just going to fill it with some of these little remnants of floral just so that it looks a little bit more unified here. It looked a little blotchy to me. And then I'm going to come in with another little bird. And I've been trying to use this little bird, but I think he belonged right here on this book stack. So I'm going to place him like standing or sitting on the flowers that are at the base of the book. And then you're going to see me come in and kind of layer some remnants of the leaves around him so that he kind of looks like he fits into the flowers instead of just floating there. So this is what we have so far on our book stack. Now I'm gonna come in and this is me still adding the little leaf patterns there, but I'm gonna come in and just on the back of the book stack that's gonna be exposed, I'm gonna add an ILD little half label here onto the back, and it's just gonna look like a little tag or a little message note there, or whatever you want to call it, label. There you go, label. And I'm going to just attach that one to the one book on the back of it that's going to be exposed because I decided to bind these together, and why not use those little words as well. So I'm just placing those randomly in spots. Now I'm going to come in with these waxes now because I like layers, you guys. So I'm going to come in with the white wax first, and I'm just using a paper towel here because that's what I had handy. And I'm going to go ahead and rub in that white wax here. And then you're going to see me come into with using the dark wax as well. So here I am coming in with the dark wax, and these are both DIY products. And I do get mine from Preston Avery Designs, but you can find your local stockist by, typing it into Google. And I'm going to go ahead and go around all the edges of the books, and then I'm going to blend that inward and kind of leaving the center more with that white wax than any dark wax. And then here I'm going to repeat that same process on the second book stack. So now I'm going to come in with that same dark wax, and I'm going to age the book pages a little bit more. And I'm just going to rub that in on all sides of the pages that are exposed. And I'm going to repeat that process for the second book. Now right here I came in a little heavy-handed, and if that happens, you can go ahead and apply some clear wax and kind of try to take some of that off, but I'm going to leave mine as is. So let's move on to project number 2. So project number 2, I have these pieces in my stash. I had this little metal candle holder already painted white, and this little dish, like a teacup saucer, and it doesn't have any match to the teacup, and it's been sitting in my stash for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and come in with my E6000 and attach both these pieces to make a cute little kind of shabby chic stand. You can put your soaps on here in your bathroom, or you can also just add a little candle on top with some greenery. And I'm going to add some weight here and leave this overnight. Now I'm coming in with these little transfer pieces, and I don't know where this transfer is actually from, just little leftover scraps from projects. And I decided to go ahead and add some wording to the base of the candle stand, and I'm going to come in and do that. Now after this, I go ahead and I distress the base, and I'm not sure if I like it. I'll show you the finished product, but I'm probably going to come in with some white paint and cover up the distressing. So here I am distressing, and my distressing pad here, my sandpaper, is a little too coarse, so it's not giving me the look I want. But I continue with the project like I said, and I go ahead and add some gold gilding wax to the bottom of here, and then I'm going to come in with my little blending brushes that I have, and I'm going to blend that gold piece in. And then we'll come in and we'll seal the piece. Now, if I decide to go ahead and cover this up with another layer of white paint, I'll go ahead and let you guys know in kind of like the video comments or whatever. And here I am just blending the pieces in, and then you want to seal your project. And I'm just going to come in with that same DIY top coat and cover up this piece, and then this project will be done. So moving on to project number 3, we're going to upcycle a picture frame. Now I have this picture frame. It's a ceramic. Oh my God, I butchered that. It's a ceramic picture frame with all these beautiful detailing here, and it's kind of shiny here, and I'm really going for more of a matte, or take away some of that shine here and give it a fresh coat of just white paint. And it's kind of like a cream color, but first I'm going to go ahead and start by taking out the glass to this picture frame, and then I'm going to add a paper in here to kind of protect the backing of the frame, so when I go out and spray paint it with this white coat of spray paint, the backing will be protected. And I'm going to do that off camera, but I'm going to come in with that same Rust-Oleum spray paint brand in the color white, and then I'm going to go ahead and give this a full coverage coat of that white spray paint, and then we'll go ahead and continue after that dries. So here's the picture I'm going to use, and of course you can change this out and use whatever picture you want. But as you can see here around my piece, my printer is giving me issues and I have some ink. Now the first thing I did is I tried to just paint that up, and of course it smeared. So I went outside and tried to spray it with the sealant, and of course I didn't let it dry long enough, so then I was having more issues with that. So then I decided to just cut the piece and put it on another blank sheet of cardstock paper. Now I would just have printed another one if my printer wasn't giving me issues. I'm just going to have the same issue again and trying to solve the same problem. So I went ahead on this route, and I go ahead and cut the piece and just tape the picture onto the new cardstock, giving it that white border edge that I wanted. And I just used whatever tape I had on hand here, and it's just my packing tape I use to package my items. So here's our piece all put together, and then I noticed there's a little hairline, I guess fracture you would call it here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue there just to bind that and give it help the hold there. And it's not going to come apart because it does have the backing, and all that frame area is glued to the backing, so it is going to stay as it is. I'm just trying to help that little imperfection there. Now I was thinking of adding a key and some greenery to the frame here, and since that piece is there, the little imperfection there, I think I'm going to go ahead and add the key kind of in that corner and lay it down, and then we'll go ahead and cover up that imperfection because it's still structurally sound. And here I am just trying to show you it, and it's not really capturing on camera, but I can see it. So I was going to add this key little bundle here anyway, so now it just helped me decide what side I'm going to put it on. So once I find my hot glue gun, I will go ahead and glue this piece on here and tie a little bow with that remaining twine there, and then this project will be done. Now here are our finished products. Thank you guys for watching. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one.